It's a good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Round 19 clash coming to you live from Churchill Reserve. It's St Albans Dynamo versus the Oakleigh Cannons, brought to you by NPL YouTube Victoria. My name is Alex Sivkorowski, and joining me in the commentary box this evening is Stefan Djordjevic. Good evening to you, Stefan.
Good evening. It is good to be with you here. I am looking forward to some football action, and especially I'm looking forward to how the Oakleigh Cannons are going to fare coming back after the 5-2 loss last week against Melbourne Victory.
Yes, it's a huge game for both these sides for very different reasons. Oakleigh wanting to stay in the top 4 race. The home side wanting to get out of that relegation battle. So it's going to be a massive game of football here, as we mentioned earlier on in the telecast. It is Oakleigh Cannons who will be kicking to the left of screen. Dynamo will be kicking to the right. They are playing in their usual blue home strip, so we'll try not to get confused too early on, Stefan, but we'll start with the lineups. We'll start with the home side first. In goals is number 1, Marko Bulic. Number 2, Gideon Arok. Number 3, Alex Mills. Number 4, Jerome Sharan. Number 5, Fletcher McFarlane. Number 6, James Zidias. Number 10, Oliver Dragicevic. Number 11, Joseph Monet. 13 is the captain, Joseph Chalina. 18, Joshua Gillespie. Number 20, Josh Diven there. And for the Oakleigh Cannons, have number 2, Brody Boyce. Number 3, Connor Hampson. Number 4, Jordan Hall. Number 5, Jacob Trapp. Number 8 is Cameron McGilb, as it's an early pickup here for Bulic. Number 10 is Joe Guest, the captain. Number 11, Adam Juratovic. 14 is Kingsley Sinclair. Number 21 in goals is Lachlan Hart. 22, Matthew Dench. And 47 is Asad Kasumovic. So a few outs there, Stefan, for Oakleigh Cannons, with Alex Salmon and Nick Feely out. So it's a big change for Chris Taylor's side.
Surprising that Alex Salmon isn't in the lineup. Normally their primary scorer along to Joe Guest up front. So we'll see how Oakleigh goes. And they're already faring and liking their chances, and not quite there to go. St Albans, both these two teams, they're going to play quite strong in the back line, so we'll just see which team can really break away first and fire that first punch.
It is a big game, as we mentioned. St Albans coming off 3 straight 2-2 draws. Could they do it for a 4th week in a row? Time will tell. Oakleigh Cannons are coming off a big loss, as you mentioned, last week, 5-2. So they'll be, like you said, really amped up for this game. But the Cannons, though, they don't like playing St Albans. They've played each other 25 times. Saints have won 11, 2 draws, and the Cannons have won 12. So very close, despite the Cannons winning a few major award trophies in the last couple of years.
Exactly, especially earlier on in the year. They had their earlier contest. That was St Albans Dynamo. Oakleigh, they'd want to respond well. And I don't think they like losing twice in a row, let alone 3 times to an opposition. So we'll see how they go this time round. Anything is really at the helm of either of these two. Zidias already looking to try and attack. He'll stop in his tracks very early on. So St Albans and Oakleigh going to look to try and just feel each other out in the opening couple of minutes here, Alex.
Yeah, absolutely. So many battles to be won here this evening. As we mentioned, Alex Salmon out and Nick Feely. So that's a huge loss for long ball up, flicked on. Good chance here, but plenty of blue shirts around as eventually it's cleared by McFarlane. Sends it back to Hart. So no real control football here at the moment from both sides. Just having to play the quick 1-2. It's a good move. Getting in the way. Gillespie unable to get it under control. Good work that time from Tratt. He's been really important in the back line. And tonight, we'll ever make sure to keep the forwards of Diven and Gillespie under wraps here, Stefan.
Yeah, it definitely will be. And this could be an early opportunity, but not quite offside. Well early on before that play, but I think it's going to come down to how well both these two teams really gel, obviously. Earlier on, they had 3 goals combined for both sides in that opening encounter that they had earlier on in the season, so it'll be interesting to see how they go. Will there be more goals scored, or will they both decide to play a little bit more defensively? Maybe one team might go up for 1 goal and maybe decide to play a little bit of a park the bus strategy. We'll have to wait and see, but Oakleigh is such a strong team. Same too can be said for Dynamo, so just have to wait and see what they decide to muster up.
The turnover now, Mills looking to go down the line. It's a good ball. He stays on side. No overlapping run. Eventually, Mills got on the Dragicevic that time. As he's kept it in, trying to find someone in the edge of the box. Plenty of white shirts back. A flick over the top. Oh, big moment there. Gillespie just couldn't get on the end of it. That's the first real chance for Dinamo.
That would have definitely been the first real chance. The cross was good. It sat right under Josh Divins' head, but he just couldn't quite get the header to connect well enough. But that would have been huge for Dinamo. Really helped them go up earlier on in the score. But I think just this Oakleigh defense they're really going to hold up well. They're one of the highest top-rated defenses, should I say. They haven't allowed too many goals this season. They've only conceded 22 goals compared to Dinamo only conceding 37. So, look, this Oakleigh Cannons defense should be one to watch out for. They're definitely not going to allow that many goals. And after last week, 5 goals, I don't think they're going to allow the same thing to happen here as the ball is out of play, and it will be Dinamo's throwing.
Well, the biggest scoreline we've seen out of these two teams was back in round 10, 2024, 3-2. The next biggest one was back in round 12 in 2022, 3-1. So Oakleigh on that time winning both those times. So if they score 3, they look pretty good. There's a chance now for Kasumovic now trying to get on his left foot. Good challenge. Referee says it was all ball, cleared by Mills. Only as far as Dench. Playing it out wide. Guest, and it will be a corner here. So Oakleigh on the front foot. Desperate defending there from both sides. That is the first corner of the game here.
Interesting that Max Hanlon, our referee here this evening, didn't quite call that a free kick. Maybe he saw differently. So the first corner here of the game, and it will be Oakleigh's way. Actually, fun fact, both these two teams, when they played each other last time, Oakleigh had 14 corners in that game. And already the first one of the evening, and it was a very low one. So what can they try and make do of this one? Here's Sinclair. We're just going to sit inside, couldn't quite manage to make anything of it, and a massive boot there by Cameron McGill. That's going to go over the fence of someone's house, but Oakleigh, they're going to look to try and start off strong, and that's a strong way to start.
Well, someone's going to earn a souvenir when they wake up tomorrow morning. I'm sure those neighbours will be probably sick and tired of collecting it, but good on it for returning it back to us. So McGill that time just getting underneath it, so probably a big opportunity to miss there. There's a short one here as they go wide to Aroc on the left-hand side. Has Exidius short. And that time Joe Guest saying it's coming off a Dinamo player, but referee on his toes. They go back to Bullich. Got to be good with possession now. He finds McFarlane looking wide to Mills. Mills looking for the line, but turning it over that time to Sinclair. Bit under the pump at the moment, the Cannons. They managing okay. Eventually Hart goes long, looking for Dench. He tried to flick it on, but not able to get purchase on there. Plenty of football to be played this evening. 4 games. Dandenong City Altona is 2-1 at half-time. Green Gully leading 2-0 against the Melbourne Knights, and Heidelberg leading 1-0 against Hume City. So plenty of football to watch. So you can't say there's no football on tonight. As a rock now goes short to Zidius. Going back to Bullich. Looking for options ahead as Dragicevic, the youngster, scored a beautiful goal last week. Very unlucky not to get goal of the week, Stefan. There's probably a number of goals of the week last week.
There was a number of goals of the week, but I think it was well deservedly so that the goal of the week went to who it went to. I was actually quite surprised with the amount of bangers there was, but I think my goal of the week last week, if I'll have to put a pinpoint on it, it would definitely be Max Mikula's bicycle kick. That was unbelievable against Preston. But here we got Dench. He's going to cross it up forwards. Couldn't quite get the kickoff in time. So we're going to have an out of play here. Hampson to throw it in for the Cannons. Can they make do of the possession? Going straight to the captain, Joe Guest, who is currently tied first for the top scoring in the NPL Victoria competition with buildup and Manny Agwek sitting at 13 goals each. I'm sure he'd love to get 14 on the board. We're just going to retreat all the way back off to Jacob Tratt, who sold the candy quite well. His guest again, right on cue with Oliver Dragicevic. Tried to go for a through ball there to Duratovic, but couldn't quite make anything of it.
Adam Duratovic still looking for his first goal of the season. So he's getting his chance tonight. It's a different ground. The Churchill Reserve's a little bit more compact. Probably won't suit Oakleigh too much. They'll suit more Dinamo, but so far they're doing well, Oakleigh. A rock. Goes back to Bullich. Again, no real options up forward. He's got to be careful there. McFarlane going wide to Mills, so Dinamo just getting a little bit stuck in defence here. So good press here from the Cannons to a rock. Looking for a long ball over the top. Not enough purchase on that one, as eventually it's taken out by Hampson. Quickly taken now. Finding Chelina. Dragicevic in the middle, the youngster. Out wide to Mills. Spreading the field here, Dinamo.
Jimmy, go in if you want. Jimmy, go in if you want. Yeah, in, it's okay.
Looking for options here, McFarlane. Just nothing really on for Dinamo in the front attacking half. Eventually they go wide. It's a good chance here now. It's Diven trying to get on his left foot. Low ball in, chance! Oh, scrambled wide for Monet. A big moment in the game there.
That was going to be huge. They managed to tip it right in time. Such a good ball there from Diven inside, but they just couldn't quite manage to get anything of it. And that's their second close opportunity that they've had. So definitely as the game progresses, who knows what they can make do with that, Alex.
Big let off there by Oakleigh Cannons.
Well done, Ollie, well done.
Chris Taylor watches on. Not a man of many words, but definitely will point that out as a ball comes in from Hart, just bouncing off Monet there, not really talking with his captain that time, and it will be a throw in here for Oakleigh Cannons as Hampson to bring it back into play. Hampson looking to go down the line. Galevsky. Hampson pickpocketing that one. Dragicevic now, a bit of space in the middle of the park. Going wide to Mills. Oakleigh trying to get some numbers behind the ball. We'll put in a hot spot there, but good work from Sharon. Diven. Rock solid. They can go wide to Zidius now. Good movements here from the Dinamo Faith. Oh, Monet just slipped it. Managed to get back up in time.
You can stay here. Yes, Kitty, good decision.
A rock. Still going forward. Good challenge that time from Duratovic now. It's Guest. Have to concede a bit of ground, but that challenge from Duratovic is what Chris Taylor will really be pleased with his forwards, but not with that pass, Stefan.
Nah, not at all, but it was a really good challenge, but just Dinamo, they're just going to try and find their footing here. Oakleigh, as you said, a bit of a smaller ground. They're probably not used to playing on this smaller ground, so they're still getting acclimatised of it. And they make do of it. Dragicevic. Trying to keep it alive, going to go forwards. What can this be? It can't be anything for Dinamo that time, but they're getting itchy for an opportunity. Ball's inside. Colina. Dinamo, they're going to slowly try and chip forwards. What can they make do of this opportunity? Ball's just on the cusp of the box. Tried to get crossed in. Zidius was in there. Here's Dragicevic. Guest fighting well to keep it alive for the Cannons.
Stay with him!
And now here comes Matthew Dench. Bombarded by constant pressure there by Monet. And a little bit of a tussle going on there, but I think it was a very good chase down by Monet, keeping him from progressing any bit forwards, and Hampson is going to throw this one in. Hampson playing in his 17th game here this evening of the season. One of the key defenders for Oakleigh in that back line, along too with Hampson, Brody Boyce and Jordan Hall in that back line, working in tangent as they have all season. What can Oakleigh make do again? Take a little nutmeg, going straight through the legs of Josh Diven. He's just going to retreat and going to shift sides. Brody Boyce. Try and keep it alive there was Kastormovic. And it'll still be Oakleigh's ball.
Just having a look here, Stefan. Connor Hampson here, just stretching the groins there. So keep an eye on that one. We really can't afford to lose him as well, as they've lost 2 key players in the last 2 weeks. So we'll just keep an eye out there for Connor Hampson. He's not really moving as freely as he likes. Just continue to stretch. It is a cold night here at Churchill Reserve, so trying to stay as warm as he can. But at the moment, so far, Dinamo so good. They are in control of the game, but just not able to get that final product in the end here. There's a chance for the Cannons to whip one into the box. Comes in low. Headed away by Monet. Shouts of handball there. Referee not interested. McGill. Cross one into the box. A Rock gets there first. Chelina under the pump. And Brody Boyce giving away a free kick there.
Brody Boyce giving in an inch whatsoever there by Chelina. Just came right into the back of him. Didn't give him any breathing room whatsoever. So now it's Dinamo's turn to try and roll the dice. McFarlane, who didn't play last week, he was subbed in. Gurgic was in the lineup last week, Michael Gurgic. So this time it's Fletcher McFarlane.
Mom, get a hold of this, man. Get out of control.
So Dinamo. Rock. Go back off to Zidius. Zidius, one of the unique players where he can play right mid and right back.
Good.
The ball just going to be pushed all the way back to the goalkeeper. What have you thought so far, Alex, of the way Dinamo's playing? A couple of close opportunities. I'm sure they'd be hungry to try and get on the scoreboard after them.
Yeah, definitely they're playing the better of the two here. I think the Cannons just trying to get their feel for the ground as such. They are, as we said, missing Alex Salmon, so it's a big loss for them. But nevertheless, they still got plenty of players out there that can do the job. It's just who can step up to the plate. It's a poor pass from Monet, looking for Cabrera, but he makes up for it. Dragicevic now, the youngster. Lovely ball out wide. Diven waiting for it, but didn't get there in time. There's another clearance there. Mills there to clean up. So that's the one thing that's working for Dinamo at the moment. That third option is Diven now. Low cross, and there'll be another corner. What have you seen, Stefan, in opening 15 minutes?
Yeah, well, I think you summed it up pretty well there. I think Oakleigh, they're just trying to get used to the ground. I don't think they've played here in a while, especially since last year. So a smaller ground than what they're used to. Jack Edwards, a little bit more wider ground. So I think they're definitely going to really settle in as the game unfolds. But I think at the moment, Dinamo, obviously home ground favour. It's going to suit them early on as both hands are up for the corner. What can Dinamo make of this time? Can't make anything of it this time. And the ball will be Oakleigh's this time round. I think the one player and we got already Connor Hampson down on the play. Hopefully he's all right. Maybe he's, as you mentioned actually earlier, Alex, he was actually holding on a little bit to the groin, to the right groin. So hopefully he's all right. This will be a big blow if this is anything major for Oakleigh. Again, as you mentioned, they're already missing 2 of their key players in Alex Salmon and Nick Feely. So hopefully this isn't anything major for Connor Hampson.
Very similar to last week's game where Nick Feely came off around a similar time. So the good news is they're not down by 2-3 goals at this stage. So that's probably a positive sign. But yeah, just Hampson there is not look too good, but gives a chance to go around the grounds. No change in the score lines from the previous wrap up early on. But Dinamo looking quite good so far. It's a couple of maybe sloppy passes where they probably haven't been hitting their man, or it's look for the wrong player at times, but overall so good. With the Cannons, yeah, like we said, just don't seem to be in the game at the moment. As we mentioned, probably different ground, getting used to it, but it'll be interesting seeing what happens with Connor Hampson. He's definitely holding on to that groin.
That right groin, so hopefully he's all right again. You know, I think one of the things that people don't quite talk about Oakleigh is their adaptability. I think they can adapt really well, especially when the game starts to get close. You know, if Oakleigh can do with keeping this game close, especially in this first half, and then try and adapt in that second half, coming out of that second half, then I think that's when we could see Oakleigh really come out guns blazing. As the goal kick will go out of play.
That was poor there from Lachlan Hart. So Cannons will be down a player for a little while Hampson gets treatment done, and that's what we're talking about, just those silly passes there.
Passes, you just mentioned that, Alex, and we saw it right there. Down one man, Oakleigh is, and maybe that down one man might have put Dynamo under a little bit of pressure to really try and make do of something here, as Matthew Dench is going to throw it in.
Dench in front of the famous Dynamo Hill, so I'm sure we'll get some instructions on how to bring it into play as goes over the top. Cabria's there. Chelina gets good work there from Chelina. Did well to win it back.
Checking back into the game, so directly under us. I was hearing some chit-chatter going on underneath. He's back in the game, so back to 11 here at Churchill Reserve. Ball's going to go forwards to Boyce. Boyce managing to header it away. Joe Guest is the one who's getting very itchy at the football right now. He's so far been everywhere, and he's actually gone down, holding on to his rib. Hopefully he's all right, but back to the action. McGilp going to try and cross it in. Another one by McGilp soaring far, but Joe Guest is down. Maybe he might be a little bit winded, I'm not too sure, but if he goes down, that might be Oakleigh's chances out the window.
Yeah, just might have got into that play just before it. So the Cannon players are in the firing line this evening. Cameron McGilp doesn't have his shooting boots on, so that's something you definitely need to look at. But Joe Guest just trying to get some air back into the lungs. No sympathy from the Dynamo Hill, that's for sure.
No, they're already singing Dynamo, so there's no sympathy whatsoever.
I don't think it was a Dynamo, it was a digger hole, I think.
Maybe, I'm not too sure. Zidius going to retreat it back to Rock. He's been a targeted player so far early on in this game, so we'll see what he can make do at the moment. Charan, he's been an early target as well for Dynamo. Diven, and he's managed to be headed away, but Dynamo still keeping it alive at the moment. Joe Guest again, good sell of the candy by Dragicevic inside. Diven, Jacob Tratt, and another collision, this time an Oakleigh collision there inside the middle of between McGill and Tratt.
Given he's actually a unit in size, not afraid to put his body on the line, so the enforcer doing his job so far. It's a free kick now for Dynamo. Dragicevic over the ball, would be a good chance here if he can get someone on the end of it. A rock's gone up forward as well, so some tall timber. Dink over looking for it. Oh, missed the rock and Mills, so a wasted opportunity, but the offside flag was raised.
Good signs though for Dynamo. Starting to really settle into this game slowly. Again, they could have possibly converted one of the couple opportunities that they've already had, but who knows where they can go from here. As this time it's Oakleigh's turn to try and roll the dice. Ball going straight under Duratovic. McGilp, who had Gulevski for company, but it'll still be Oakleigh's ball. What can they make do of this time? Here's Jacob Trapp. Clears it out for Hampson. Forwards to Guest. Guest tried to cross it back to McGill. McGill wasn't in the right position. However, Jacob Tratt was keeping it alive. Ball off to Boyce. Boyce on that far side. Kasumovic was the man there, but he couldn't quite manage to pin him to him in time. He's just going to retreat slowly. Joe Guest putting a whole heap of pressure on Bullish, the goalkeeper. Ball just being tipped around here at the moment. Could this be an opportunity? Joe Guest inside the box, couldn't quite make anything of it. And at the moment, Dynamo doing a good job at stopping Oakleigh's attacks, but both sides really cancelling each other out with the amount of stops that they're having. Here's Charon. Could this be an opportunity for Dinamo this time around? They've already had a couple inside the box. Ball's tipped around. And Hampson managing to boot that one away.
Well, they're lining up on the edge of the box here. Mate was waiting for it, screaming for it to come in. But desperate defending there from the Cannons. Guess now starting to really get involved in the game. Mills wins it back. Dragicevic is doing well. Manaik now looking to go wide to no one. I'm not sure who he's seen, but either way he's turned it over. Chance now, and you can just see Hampson. He's not at all. And he just looks to the bench, says, nah, can't go on here. I think he might be coming off as chance now for someone else to come on as Sinclair goes back to Tratt.
There's already a couple of substitutions already warming up for Oakleigh, so one of them will be coming on if Hampson's groin doesn't get any better. But at the moment, though, if he goes, Oakleigh's chances are diminishing by the second. Ball directly under for Dench. Dench being pressed up heavily by Zidius. The back line so far of Dinamo doing a really good job of keeping the strikers at bay and the forward line at bay, especially Joe Guest. Wherever Joe Guest is, they seem to be manning him up every single way. And they're speaking of Joe Guest, not having it from our head referee here.
Alex Mills that time just giving away a foul. Just looks like that Hampson might be coming off as coaching staff here for Oakleigh, just making slight adjustments to their tactics. It'll be interesting to see how many more minutes he can hold on for, but it's a free kick here for the Cannons into the box. Strong header there from McFarlane. One back, McGill going wide to Kasumovic. Good pressure here by Dinamo as it forces them to go back to Hall. Tratt now going to go wide to Hampson. That's going to definitely test his hamstring. Little dink over the top. A rock heading it down. Dench. And that's going to run out for a throw here. And I think that substitution might be happening in the next minute or two.
I think it will be, and it looks
Campbell
possibly
strong. So, back into play here. Cross comes in, or the header over the top there. Again, probably the best chance. Tratt that time, just couldn't keep it down. And it looks like Campbell Strong will be coming on. And Connor Hampson coming off. So that's a big change there. Connor Hampson, another injury that Chris Taylor could not afford to have. And that means Kingsley Sinclair moves to left back. And Strong will move to the middle.
The Dinamo Hill back there over my shoulder, Alex. They're giving it at the moment. I think maybe our effects microphone has picked it up, but they're
the PG version. Give us a PG version.
I don't think I want to give it a PG wording at the moment. I think I can think of it on the spot, but they're saying, well, why'd you start the game? So the Dinamo Hill are loving it. I don't think the Oakleigh Cannons support team, if you are out there, I don't think you're loving it. But then again, Campbell Strong, he's still a strong player, or pun intended. But nevertheless, don't discount Oakleigh, even though Hampson is out. Campbell Strong is still a really solid defender. And it's actually Sinclair who's actually synced back to play that back position. So Campbell Strong, they put him up in the midfield. Maybe Kingsley Sinclair can do some justice for Connor Hampson back there.
Interesting how he goes.
Speaking of Sinclair, he's actually going to be the one to throw it in directly under us. Going to go forwards. We're just going to be tipped around. Could this be an opportunity here for the Cannons? McGill, through ball. Going to Dench. Dench went down by a rock. And the free kick coming Oakleigh's way. And it was before, actually, with Cameron McGill. So McGill's on the ground.
I think there was a bit of a payback from Dragicevic there. He did cop one earlier on off the ball, and the referee didn't call it. So the youngsters just got to keep it together. And it could be another player down for Oakleigh. Not something they really can afford now. McGill's back on his feet. So I guess stepping up. So slight change here from the Cannons in Kingsley and Dench just going to be switching places for the meantime. So the Cannons just adjusting their tactics a little bit from the start of the game as Guest now over the ball. Crosses it looking for the back post. Oh, it's missed everyone. Divins there to clean up into Kasumovic. Good work there from Kasumovic, but played it into Divins' hands now. Chance for Dinamo. Can they break away here on the left-hand side? It's a lovely ball. Dragicevic just couldn't get it under control. He goes wide to Manaik. He's onside here. Cutting back on his left into the middle. Through ball. Oh, almost there. Manaik almost winning it back there. It was a big moment in the game. Dench now looks upfield. Goes back to Guest. Playing a very deep role today. Looking for options. Lovely ball to McGill. Good running from Dench. Oh, gets around Zidius beautifully there. Good work from Dench. Low cross, a rock. Good work there from the defender. Finds Monet. It's end-to-end action here now. Monet going forward. Trat. Ooh, almost collided there. Good work. They switch it out wide to Kasumovic. He's onside. A little step over on the left foot. Over the bar.
I've got to say, early on at the moment, a rock is an absolute brick wall right now. He got only tipped around the ball. Dench managed to squeak it past him, and a rock was just there to say, no can do. You're definitely not getting rid of this one. A rock is proving why he is such a strong defender right now at the moment. You can't really stop him. First season, part of St. Albans Dynamo. Played in Adelaide last season for Adelaide City. He's proving to be every bit worth it at the moment. Such a strong defender right now, and here is a rock. Speaking of him, cross it up forwards to Josh Divin, the brick wall. Can Dynamo make do this time round? Just going to be tipped back off to McFarlane. Ball hasn't had that much travel up on that far side as of late, the past couple of possessions. Ball is sort of tipped around on this near side at the moment. Divin putting a lot of pressure on Lachlan Hart in goal. Mills right under the football, controlling it well.
Come. Josh is there too, it's fine.
What can Dynamo make do of this opportunity? Dynamo just the ball around Gulevsky. McFarlane again. Didn't play last week. This time he's in the starting lineup. Gulevsky. Going forwards to Zidius. Tried to tip the ball around his defender, Matthew Dench. He's strong. Oakleigh just feeling out the team. I think surely now any minute they're definitely going to get a feeling of the ground, but at the moment it's all Dynamo this first half, really shutting down Oakleigh no matter which way they're coming from.
Probably the one thing they're missing is that goal, and I think Cam Watson will be pleased. He knows there's a bit of work to be done, but that goal is what eludes him as the Cannons now driving forward. Finds Guest. Oh, good work there from Zidius. He had to get in the way as Sinclair was waiting for it.
I think Joe Guest does a good job, not only scoring goals, but setting up his other teammates as well. Again, setting up a lot of the time Alex Salmon, but this time he tried to set up Dench, but Dench just wasn't in the right spot. Or Kingsley Sinclair, I should say, sorry.
What you going to see? Throw in.
So ball going to be in for the Cannons this time. Dench. Dynamo doing a good job at stopping that one. Good little stop there by Kalina. Here's McFarlane. Back off to Kalina. Campbell's strong, who did a good job at stopping that one, and Dynamo just going to push the ball a little bit wider here. Here's Zidius being pressed up by Kingsley Sinclair. Gulevsky. Back forwards to Dragicevic. Dragicevic, it's a beautiful ball inside. What can Dynamo make do this time round? The hill behind me is cheering loudly. What can Dynamo make through this time. Ball with Sharon. Could this be Dynamo's opportunity? It's a sea of white at the moment right now. Could this be an opportunity for Dynamo? It's close, the ball's inside the box, and it's Oakleigh's ball, but Dynamo, they're getting itchy here at the moment, Alex. Any minute now, any other opportunity comes in, I reckon.
Yeah, Oliver Dragicevic there, he's really turning the game. For a player that is only 17 years old, he's playing like he's been in the league for about 10 years. He's really taking it up to Oakleigh. And just a little fine touches that he's doing, as you can see, the Hill were giving him a round of applause with just that little move that he did there. But the Cannons, a chance now. They're going forward. It's Sinclair. He goes wide to Guest. Oh, he took a heavy touch. He still holds onto the ball. Dench their support. Cross comes in. It's low, and it'll be a corner there. As McFarlane coming out. But just watching Dench there, he was limping before this play. That could be another player that might be just coming into the game with an injury. And the Cannons now, they're pretty much really utilising their bench, something that Chris Taylor doesn't often do. Last week he cleared out his bench. Will he have to do that again tonight as a corner now? Guess goes direct route. Eventually cleared. Oh, it's a good opportunity here. Tratt now's got to be careful. Which way does he go? He goes back to Hart. He eventually clears wide. Guess now, good touch. Dragicevic there to assist.
Really good touch by Joe Guest, but he just couldn't keep the ball alive.
And you can see Dench is just not moving well at all. He didn't want to even go for that ball. Will that force another change here? As he looks to bring it in.
I think Oakleigh did the right play with bringing Connor Hampson off, obviously one of the key defenders for the team. They don't want to risk anything, especially if it's anything serious as Charon. He had a run. What could this be for Dynamo? Gulevski is charging forwards with the ball. Can he keep it alive? Referee Max Hanlon won't call it. So an interesting couple of plays there. Nothing being elected to be called. Mills.
That was a big call there.
Far side.
Big call. Should have been a foul at least. Chance now for the Cannons up the other end. Dench is going to test those legs. He gets around Monet. Monet not giving up with the fight. McGill. Back to Dench out wide. Cross comes into the box. Passes everyone. Mills is there to clean up. Heavy ball to Sharon. He did well to get it under control. Good clearance. Finds Monet, but outnumbered here, Dynamo. Good work from McGill. He pinches that one now, going wide. Finds Sinclair. Guess running down the line, squares it. Good defensive work there from the Dynamo, and it'll be a corner.
Very, very close one there. And I was actually going to say before, actually, Alex, the two corners that the Cannons have had, both Joe Guest took them, and they both came relatively low. So third time's a charm. Could he sit this one up a little bit higher? We're going to have to wait and see. Joe Guest, he's going to take this one. So I'm assuming Oakleigh, they're going to want to put all the numbers in the box. Hopefully they don't play this one relatively low, as the ball will be up once again. Going to sit too high. Will they keep it alive inside the box? They do, but won't be anyone's. Charon. Tip it up high. Here's Gulevski under the ball. Along two is Sinclair. Sinclair does a good job of controlling it well. And this time just putting some breathing room at the moment for the Cannons. Trap.
Next job!
He's done a fantastic job so far in the back line. Just going to tip it back around between himself and Jordan Hall. Jordan Hall and him connecting on several times in that back line, stopping a number of shots, not only here tonight, but in previous other encounters that Oakleigh have had. Here's Monet, who's been superb so far tonight. Joey Monet inside the middle of the pitch whenever he's gone on a run. Always managed to convert something for Dynamo. Colina going to clear it off to Charan. Back off to Mills. Charan again. with Brody Boyce on him. Boyce not giving him any breathing space whatsoever. He's going to keep the ball alive. Cameron McGill's hands went up, and that time it was caught out.
Bit unlucky there. Bit unlucky.
Can't put the blame on Max Hanlon, our referee here. It is tough to see that boundary line over there on that far side, so can't put too much pressure on him. All up at the moment. It's being tipped around. Could this be an opportunity for Dinamo? Here's Monet.
Retain!
Push it back to Zidius.
Retain it!
And the ball's just going to work its way all the way back again to Arok.
It's okay, Jimmy. You're good. Let Jozza
So
be there.
far, both defenses have held up pretty well at both opposing attacks. It's just going to be which team can really break down first, and I think whichever team does go on to score here, Alex, I think that team will be the one that walks away the victors.
Yeah, I just think they've really got to take on Matthew Denchia. He's sort of have to fill in that left-back role. Monet does have the pace on him, so just getting the ball out wide, I think if they can get past Dench, there'll definitely be a chance as they think one over the top. This time he's onside. Good work. They're looking to play it around, looking for options as Mills there to assist in the middle of the park. Is Chelina. He goes wide to Zidius. This is a lot better from Dinamo now. Rock.
One thing I might add as well, Alex, Dinamo looks very, very settled into this game. They are very happy to pass the ball around and get involved in Oakleigh's play at the moment.
Yeah, it's all good and well, but the name of the game is to get goals. So
exactly.
If they don't score, Oakleigh definitely only need one goal to really punish them, and it's balls like that. Mills probably should have been a little bit more cleaner on that possession there. It doesn't allow Zidius to get under control. So it's just those little 1-2%ers that if Dinamo can do, they'll definitely be within a chance. Oakleigh, despite not being in the game, they're really still getting chances up top. Yeah. So that's something interesting. That how does Cam Watson react to that as they go wide? And that's probably the couple of times now Hart has done that. So if they can really, the forwards put pressure on Hart, they can really get a turnover here.
I think as you mentioned as well earlier on, some of those sloppy passes just not connecting when they needed to connect. So if they were to connect a couple, it would be well, and it would serve in Dinamo's favour. But at the moment now, here's Kasumovic. He's got a cross city. He's got Joe Guest inside the box. He's being held by Arok. Can he make anything do of it? Oh. Sinclair is inside the box. Took a shot. Was deflected by Bullich. Strong. Back off to Sinclair. Ball's going to shift away off to Kasumovic. He's going to take a shot. And going straight off the goalkeeper's hands. What a sequence of play there. I'm surprised nothing was called there inside the box. But Joe Guest not giving any breathing space whatsoever in there by Rock.
Yeah, that time Alex Mills probably should have attacked the ball a lot better and not allow that chance to come in. But good work there from Marko Bulic. Just managed to keep the ball out as there will be a corner here. So as we lead into the final couple of minutes here at Churchill Reserve, it's still 0-0, but you just feel that Oakleigh, if they can get one here, they'll control the game. They'll be happy with Dinamo to have possession, but Dinamo just got to ride it out till half-time here. Cross comes in. Cleared by a Rock. Chance. Good blockage there as Strong try to cross one in. It will be another throw here. Be interested to see how many minutes added on in stoppage time. Having a look at the fourth official, looks like maybe 3 minutes. Keep a close eye on that one.
The way that Rock is playing, there's a reason why he was voted in the team of the week last week. Such an exceptional defender right now, proving his worth.
And McGill, 1-2, it's McGill! And again, that's his third time. It just took a deflection off a Rock, and as you mentioned there, Stefan, he has been, pardon the pun, rock solid in defence so far. Although defence can be at times costly. He's got 9 yellow cards, so that's something he might need to work on as the cross comes in. Cleared away by Dragicevic.
Another low ball came in by Joe Guest. I'm not sure if that was a tactic coming into this game, sending in a couple low crosses, but I don't think they're working at the moment for Oakleigh's way.
Yes, Jimmy!
Zidius clears. He had Guest hunting him down, so.
Looking at Mom, 5 or 2.
Waiting for a ball to come back onto play as quickly taken by Sinclair. Tratt. Oh, awkward there by Tratt. Just noticed there Sharon and Monet switching sides there, Stefan, so that's an interesting switch just before half-time.
We'll see how it goes. Obviously, Sharon, he's been the intended man so far on the past couple plays to deliver the ball in, especially tip the ball up the pitch, so we'll see.
Good call, Jimmy, good call.
What that call can do. Will it be in Dynamo's favour? We're going to have to wait and see. Here's a rock. Tips it forward to Zidius. Here's Karen again. All being tipped around loosely at the moment. Could this be an opportunity for Dynamo this time around? Zidius, who's just got 3 players in white right around him, and is that man Joe Guest once again managing to take the ball away from him. Duratovic was brought down. Sinclair. Ball's going to still be alive. All the players just looking for a referee signal.
Oh.
Gulevski just falling down on that play. Could this be an opportunity for Oakleigh now? Kasumovic, the former Adelaide United player. 2 minutes of added time have been added into this one. But it'll still be Oakleigh's ball.
Divin there just giving away the ball there. Probably not needed that type of pass, so something Cam Watson will definitely pick up as we start heading in to the final minutes here at Churchill Reserve. McGill just does not have his shooting boots on tonight. 3 shots so far. There's a ball over the top to Guest. Working hard, trying to create something here for the Cannons. Pulling it back out. Bench moving. McGill crosses one in, but no one on the end of it, and it's an easy pickup for Bullich.
Yeah, we're going to be going, I think, into this half-time 0-0, and I think both teams, I think the finishing is going to be the thing that both coaches are going to touch on. Obviously, both teams have built up the play really, really well, but it's just that finishing touch that is just letting both these sides down. So either one of these 2 teams can really get a finish on, I think the game might be over.
Bring it down!
These 2 teams, I mean, they're very relatively equal. I mean, don't worry about the standings right now, how they're looking, but I mean, both teams right now, if you were to have a look at them without even have a look at the table, you think they're relatively there or thereabouts closely on the table.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's a credit to Cam Watson and his coaching staff. They've really set up well here tonight. Haven't buckled under the pressure so far. They've done well. They've pressed and made the Cannons earn their possession. As we said, just not clinical in the couple of chances they had. They switch it out wide. Dench just got on the end of it. As we play the final 30 seconds here. Zidius. Gillespie. Sharon looking to take him on. Gets it into the box. Squares it. Shot comes in. Just past the post there. It was a solid effort, but Chelina just couldn't find the target. Good ball movement, and that's a half-time whistle here. Stefan, it's been a very entertaining first 45.
Wow, what an entertaining first half. That was the only way I can describe that first half, Alex. It was a very big chess match of football there. Both sides really picking who they're going to play to, how they're going to play to, how they're really going to press that ball up. But I think, as you said, a couple sloppy passes by Dynamo kind of let them down. Oakleigh's finishing let them down again. You know, Oakleigh missing their key player in Salmon, key goalkeeper, and gets a couple key players missing. Hampson going off as well. I think those...
Where's it? And there's opening goal. He was onside. And it's the Cannons who made them pay. And it's Adam Juratovic who gets his first goal this season.
That is too good there. Joe Guest, once again, we spoke about him all evening, how well he can set up plays. He's a phenomenal goal scorer. And does he know how to set up his teammates? That answer is yes. He didn't have Alex Salmon that time. Adam Juratovic, though, on the right spot at the right time, managing to kick that one in.
Oh, what a way to score your first goal when your club needs you the most. When your star man is out, you step up, and the youngster has stepped up. And that's what the Cannons were looking for. It was a mistake by Bulic, who turned it over to Kusumovic. And in the end, it was a magic from Joe Guest, who laid it on a platter. And Juratovic takes his chance. So that's 1-0. Will that spur on Dinamo here? They've been undefeated in three straight draws. Now their back's up against it. Will they pull out another draw here today? McFarlane goes wide to Mills. Has to backpedal a little bit to McFarlane. Just got to go forward now. A little dink over the top. Galevsky was offside, but good work there. Hall cuts it off. Looking to play down a line. Kusumovic now. And judged to be out.
So far in this game, 1-0 at the moment for the Cannons. That one goal just coming moments ago by Adam Juratovic, the former Melbourne Victory Academy player. So far, his first goal of the season with that one, and giving Oakleigh the 1-0 lead here at Churchill Reserve. So a big time goal, and that might be the goal that Oakleigh needs to possibly hold on to an additional 3 points, and maybe possibly boosting them up to third on the table. A nice little ball there by Sharon. Could this be an opportunity here for Dinamo? Gulevsky keeping it alive inside, trying to press it forwards. Divan was inside, along too with Dragicevic. Ball just being tipped around a little bit again. Sharon, he was onside. He's going to go to his side. What a beautiful goal! And the equalizer is good. The under-23s player, Jerome Sharon. And the Churchill loves it over my left-hand shoulder.
Well, what a way to score your first goal for your club. Jerome Sharon picked his spot. He beat Hart. And just like that, we're 1-1. It was a beautiful finish in the end there. And the Hills in full voice, and the Cannons, after holding on to the lead for barely 60 seconds, find themselves back on equal terms.
Alex, that was such a strong finish. Unbelievable. He managed to wrap the ball straight around the defense. Ball just managed to creep in, and even if, dare I say it, maybe if Nick Feely was in the goal, that probably would have wrapped around him as well. That was such a beautiful goal from the youngster. And just how you spoke earlier on about Adam Juratovic's first goal, that's Jerome Sharon's first goal.
Well, it's anyone that hasn't got a goal so far this season, they might be lining up to take their chances here tonight. So
a couple first goal scorers here.
it might be the very night we might see a couple of first-time goal scorers. So what a game this has turned. We thought Dinamo might just not be able to hold on, but they get one quickly as Bulic plays it into Mills. Looking for the line, Sharon. Lovely 1-2. Mills kept running on. Oh, late challenge there from Boyce. The referee said it was clean. Trying to get back on side is Kusumovic. Juratovic just slips over at the last minute as McFarlane now is able to break away. He sends the ball wide.
It's okay. Good fledge. It's okay.
The Cannons.
Oakleigh will be itching right at the skin of their teeth to try and answer back with one here, especially after that ripper of a goal that it was by Dinamo to equalise it. They've only had 2 draws in all their previous meetings that they've had, so at the way that this game is going, I'm sure either one of these 2 teams wouldn't want to walk away with a draw, considering both have
Well, the last draw we had was back in 2023, round 5. It was a 1-all draw there, so a couple of years since we last had a draw.
This is a rivalry as well that dates all the way back to 1987. The first game actually that took place here between these two was right here at Churchill Reserve on March the 7th, so a little bit of historical information between these two sides. As Gulevsky keeping it alive here for Dinamo. We're going to roll out all the way off to Mills on this near side. Trying to open up the Oakleigh defense at the moment. Dinamo doing a good job at staying in this game very easy. 1-0 to lose your focus, be disappointed after that one goal and really let your opposition settle in. But in fact, it was Dinamo who didn't let Oakleigh settle in whatsoever with that. Pounced when they knew that Oakleigh wanted to try and settle in and really establish himself back into this one.
Chance now, Sharon looking to take on Boyce. Got his number at the moment. Ball into Dragicevic out wide to Mills. Good play here from Dinamo. The cross comes in. And that one ends up in that big tree.
Another one that's 2 for the evening gone over the fencing. So whichever 2 lucky recipients are walking away with a couple of lucky match balls, I'd love to be one of them, but unfortunately I'm not.
I'll give you a wrap up in other games. Dandenong City taking that one out against Altona 2-1. Green Gully piling on the misery at Melbourne Knights. That is a 4-1 win for Gully. And Heidelberg leading 1-0 against Hume City. So 2 games already completed this evening. 2 yet to be completed, but very close. As Hart, you got a feel for Lachlan Hart. He's come in 2 weeks in a row, and unfortunately he's copped very good goals. Not much you can do when they're absolute pearlers. You just got to pick yourself up and continue to do the job you've been given. But almost an hour played here at Churchill Reserve. And Stefan, what do you see in the final 30 minutes?
I mean, at the moment, both teams have definitely settled in. I know we spoke earlier on about Oakleigh coming in here into a little bit of a more narrow pitch, smaller pitch compared to what they used to back in the southeast at Jack Edwards Reserve. But I think they've settled in pretty well here. But again, Dinamo there. Dinamo have settled in really well as we've got a ball coming in here for Josh Diven. Trying to control it. Does a good job of controlling it inside the box. Back off to Sharon. Sharon back again to Josh Diven. Does a beautiful job of keeping it right at his feet. Sharon again. Gonna cross it all the way off onto that far side. Tried to go off to Monet, I should say. But anyway, back to your question. I think, yeah, Dinamo have done a good job as well at really pouncing on Oakleigh, considering that normally when a team goes up 1-0, you know, they try and settle into the game and they use that to the advantage. What have you thought of the game so far? Yeah,
it's very entertaining for both these sides. Despite the ladder positioning here, you think that, like you mentioned earlier on, that they're much closer than what they are. But so far, so good. The only disappointment is probably Oakleigh. You feel that, you know, the squad that they have should be leading this game by a few more goals. The pressure is on Dinamo. They need points to survive. They've only had 3 points in the last 3 weeks. So for them, every point they pick up helps them. But Oakleigh Cannons, that 4th place now is sort of under threat at the moment. There's a chance now for McGilp looking to break away. Monet just giving away a professional foul there just to slow down the run of play.
And Dinamo's last win actually came all the way back in round 7 on the 23rd of March. They had a 3-0 victory over the Port Melbourne Sharks. So last 3 weeks they had 3 consecutive 2-2 draws. I'm sure they wouldn't want to walk away with another draw here, but I think sharing points might possibly be the best outcome for them if they can't manage to slay the Cannons. Gulevsky working it back off to Arok. At this rate, Alex, I didn't want to see any substitutions coming in, even though I have a sneaking suspicion we'll be seeing them at some point. These starters are putting on an absolute show for us at the moment.
Not ball down the line, but really to no one here. Boys.
Get back!
Kasuvic, good work there from McFarlane. Galevsky's worked hard all evening. Galevsky having to play out of position at times. Chelina can go wide to Monet. Good ball in. Monet rides a challenge, but good work that time from Dench.
Monet was a superstar player in that first half. Did such an unbelievable job at keeping a whole heap of possession alive for him. I think Mikel Platt is just in the dugouts getting ready to possibly check into this game. Not too sure when, but we've got a quarter coming in here for Dinamo. Ball's going to be crossed in. Could this be an opportunity? Goes into the back, a close one. Joe Guest once again keeping it away from the goal. But I think it'll be actually another corner. So
Hitting a rock there.
In for Dinamo.
Almost got his first goal of the game, his career at Dinamo. So the first timers tonight are really stepping up to the plate. There's a corner here for Dinamo on the hill. On the edge of the box, Monet whips one in. Oh, Joey Monet! Oh my word! That has to be the goal of the evening. And the Dinamo faithful are in raptures here.
Alex, that has got to be one of the best goals I have seen. How did he wrap that goal all the way over the head of Lachlan Hart? Poor Lachlan Hart, 2 weeks in a row. He already had a belter come in earlier on in the evening with Jerome. But what a goal. I think that one has to top it.
Well, it's going to be a substitution here. Number 9, Mikel Platt coming on. Number 20, Josh Diven coming off. So Mikel Platt add to Oakleigh's misery, but wow, what a goal. And the Dinamo faithful absolutely in raptures here.
They loved every bit of that goal, Alex. Every last minute of it. And now to add to Oakleigh's misery, Mikel Platt, who is a striker, was definitely out Oakleigh's number last year playing for Hume City. This time round playing for Dinamo. He's definitely going to be one to watch out for. Last time out, he had 3 goals for Hume last season, including 1 in the Australia Cup. So definitely a strong striker. So one goes off in Josh Diven, another stronger one goes on with Mikel Platt.
Well, Platt's got to do a job here for his side. He's got to keep that intensity up. He's got to make sure he puts pressure on those defenders. And at the moment now, Oakleigh Cannons are looking like they're facing back-to-back losses. We'd have to go back in the record books to see when they lost 2 in a row. It's going to be a frenetic here. 25 minutes all around the ground. It's all just Dinamo supporters. They're trying to get their side across the line here. As you said, Stefan, round 7 was the last win. A long, long time between drinks. Could that come to fruition tonight?
We'll have to wait and see. And the way that the crowd is cheering over here, it seems as if they've just taken out the NPL Championship right now. The way that they're cheering is phenomenal. But that's what you can ask for from a support base. Kasumanovic keeping it alive. Mills not giving any breathing space. Sharon got a whole hand to his face directly in front of us. We had a good look at that one. So too did Max Hanlon. Kasumanovic gouging the face of Jerome Sharon. Joe Guest visibly not happy with what's going on with one of our sideline officials here down below us.
Easy, good.
Very, very lucky not to get a card.
Very lucky not to get a card, and that's the last thing that Oakleigh will need. It will make their night go from bad to even worse, possibly. But I mean, Dinamo right now, they're just playing lights out football right now. And we've got a free kick coming here for the Cannons.
You can trust Ollie
And
on
it
the
will
ball
be
there, yeah?
Brody boys to take
Ollie.
electing not to waste any time. After Jacob Trapp. As you mentioned, I don't think any team has beaten Oakleigh 3 times in a row, let alone just the twice. So this will be bitter for any Oakleigh Cannon supporter and their players if they were to go down 3 times in a row to the same team. As McGill keeping it alive. Could this be an opportunity for Oakleigh? There's a very shocking kick there. That was by McGill. Not sure who the intended man was on that one. Strong. Back off to Hall. I mean, the defence by Oakleigh's been strong, but I mean, when you have 2 unreal goals that go in, I wouldn't say that's too much of the defence's fault. I'd say that's just spot-on kicking from the strikers of Dinamo.
Yeah, they've just got to keep going, play the natural game. Don't think it's over and done. Keep pressing. Try to get a third goal. Try not to concede is the main thing at the moment. But they've got to continue that natural game and just keep applying the pressure where they need to as a rock now. Oh, just slipped over the last second there. They managed to win the ball back. Just noticing Dragicevic, not much output so far in the second half. He's had maybe a couple of touches, but they need him to keep going.
I agree. He's been a little bit quiet this half so far, letting Cholina really do a lot of the work engine, work room.
Ooh.
What a sell of the candy that was by Jacob Trapp.
Well, there's only one player that could do that in the fence. It's Jacob Trapp as the Cannons now going forward. Good defensive work, still going. He manages to get it back. Juratovic, a little think over the top. Headed back by Kusumovic. Bulic, happy to see that one go over the line. Oh, it's going to be a nervous 25 minutes here at Churchill Reserve. Can the Cannons find something? Will Dinamo hold on for a big, big victory?
So far in this game as well, only the one substitution coming in as well. The Englishman, Mikel Platt, coming in. So I'm expecting a whole mirage of substitutions to come in for both sides. But, I mean, at the moment, this game doesn't really need that many substitutions because it's shaping up to be such a ripper. McFarlane with Guest putting a whole heap of pressure on that back line. McGill directly under the football. However, it's Dinamo who managed to walk away with it. Here's the man who hasn't had much touch of the football, Dragicevic, clearing it out off to Sharon. Instead, it will be Austin Mills. Had quite a strong game last week against Avondale. Great job this time round out here against the Cannons. Bulic to send it long from end to end. Lachlan Hart, unfortunate for Lachlan Hart, having to settle for 2 absolute rippers being sent into the netting. I wouldn't quite say it's his fault, but ball being pressed up to Duracovic, takes out Marko Bulic. That's a big, big hit there by Adam Duratovic. Don't think it was intended, but might have been possibly from anger.
I think Bulic is just probably selling that one a bit too much, but nevertheless, hey, these are sort of things you need to do when you're in front. You're going to expect that. I just need to see a bit more intensity from Mikel Platt. I feel like it's just not really hunting down. You see Monet there, he ran for that ball, whereas there's a bit of a jog from Platt. If he's going to be a target man, either hold up the play and lay it off, or you're going to have to really charge forward. As you can see, he's having a few words to Gillespie as instructions from Cam Watson. But if they can hold on, Stefan, if they go into 11th place out of the bottom 3, although Melbourne Victory do have a game they need to play on Monday night. So it is a big, big 20 minutes coming up here. Can Dinamo hold on is the question.
I was going to say Mikel Platt might be a little bit cold, obviously coming in while the conditions have gotten a lot colder, but then again, he is an Englishman, so he's definitely used to this weather, that's for sure. Beautiful ball off the Dench, up forwards. Zidius trying to corner Matthew Dench, and he did a good job at that.
All eyes watching this one closely here at Churchill Reserve. The countdown begins to the full-time whistle. Can Dinamo hold on? Or will they go for another draw here this evening? This is where Bulic needs to be really good with his feet. Heavy touch from Cholina, but they get out of trouble. McFarlane going wide. Sharon. Mills. Lovely ball down the line, Dragicevic. Needs a bit of help. Two men getting manhandled there. Sharon into Platt. Good running here from Mills. Platt just got to hold it up. Mills. Cross comes in. Good defensive work that time by Hall. It is a corner now.
If it's a bit fucked in the middle for goal kicks, take to the side now, yeah? Not fucking around there.
Sure, this hill right over my left shoulder, they would love another goal to come in and really put the dagger in the Cannon's chest at the moment. I mean, the way that Dynamo have played throughout this game really lights out football, and the way that they're able to just capitalise when they went down 1-0, put up a beautiful goal by Sharon, and then put up the goal-leading goal was phenomenal. Could this be one for Mikael Platt? He's inside the box, tried to turn around, kick it. Didn't quite have enough space, the former Hume City player did. But a very close opportunity there for Dynamo. And could this be Oakleigh in transition? Here's Joe Guest, who's actually second now on the top scoring sheet after that one goal that Bull Juacha scored against Hume City. Dynamo back again in transition. Ball going to be cleared out once again to Mills. Mills has had quite a bit of touches of the football this evening already. Lachlan Hart.
Back in, back in, back in.
Just going back to that Mikael Platt situation. Should have shot first time. You're in the square. Just shoot. You can't afford to take too many touches. That's something that you'll get that feedback, but he really needs to just put it away first time.
Especially the longer he waits, the more it draws attention to the football. Right. The more defenders actually got around him, the tougher it is to finish.
Exactly right, and that's what occurred. Rock gets around Guest. Chelina looking to switch it out wide. Oh, good work there by Boyce. Only as far as Mills. Dragicevic now needs a bit of assistance. No one in the middle of the park. They go back to McFarlane. Back to Bullich. Under 15 minutes left to go here at Churchill Reserve as the Rock just goes forward really to no avail there.
And Oakley's pressure has definitely stepped up over the last couple minutes or so. Saw it in a couple of plays not too long ago when the ball was in the back line of Dynamo. The Oakleigh players were all up and around trying to force Dynamo into mistake, and they're slowly forcing them into one, and you can tell they want to get back on the score sheet, but can they do it? Obviously, time will be telling at the moment. Beautiful ball off to Kasumovic inside. He's trying to cross it in. Joe Guest inside. Could this be an opportunity for Sinclair? Oh, yes, it is! The equalizer's good for Oakleigh, and we're back to equal 2 apiece. And this is very familiar for Dynamo. The past 3 encounters that they've had have been 2-2, and yet another one is 2-2 here tonight.
A bit unlucky there. As Oliver Dragicevic just tried to play it in, but great work that time from Sinclair. Desperate defending. It couldn't keep it out. And that's just taken the wind out of the game a little bit there. Good response by the Cannons. But they've got to pick themselves up again. Oh, Mills with a poor pass there to Kasumovic now. Everyone trying to track back. McGilp. Oh, lovely work there from McGilp. Sold the dummy well. Still going forward now. Squares it. Guess now going wide. Cleared by McFarlane.
Might I add as well, Alex, this is Kingsley Sinclair's 50th game, might I add as well, here this evening.
Oh, what a way to bring up your 50. Oh, Platt there took a heavy touch. A rock. McGilp now goes wide to Kasumovic. Cross comes in. Oh, what a chance that was. It came in hot.
And it wasn't offside, actually, Alex.
Offside flag is raised.
Got a player directly down in the middle of the pitch. Not quite sure exactly who it is.
Could we see a 4th game in a row, 2-2? That's got to be some record.
I don't think we've ever seen that record before. 4 consecutive draws in a row, and they all ended up being the exact same scoreline, Alex. That'll be something.
Well, it's football's a funny old game. There's plenty of time left. Can Dynamo just picked themselves off the ground.
That's actually
McGilp, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, McGill. Just want to quickly reflect back on that Kingsley Sinclair goal. That's his second one of the season as well. The New Zealander scoring his second goal here. So, good stuff from him.
It's his 5th goal of his career, so...
Not bad for a career there. 50 games, 5 goals. I'll definitely take that if I was you, Alex.
As McGill patiently waiting to come back on. Eventually given the green light. A rock now. Bring it back into play. What can Dinamo do here? Platt. No free kick. Oh, eventually it's a late whistle. And I think Jordan Hall's going to be spoken to here by the referee. Just letting him know.
10 degrees is the weather up here in St. Albans, so it is a cold one. I wouldn't quite blame all the players for getting cramps and whatnot out there on the pitch. It is a cold one out there, but then again, they're huffing and puffing running around the pitch, and we're standing here, so clearly they shouldn't be in too much pain out there. Bit of pressure coming from the Oakleigh line. Turn around. Finds Duratovic, one of 2 goal scorers this evening.
Yeah, Chabs! Chabs!
And Sharon is also down into the ground, and he's also got a cramp as well. So a couple of players just cramping out here in the latter stages of this one.
As the game starts to be stop-start, obviously players warming down a little bit, and that will force a change, as I think Sharon's going to be coming off. Mikael Platt having to help out his teammate here.
The medical will be sent on as well for Jerome Sharon. First goal as well earlier on, and it was a belter as well. Managed to curl the ball right around Lachlan Hart. Speaking about Lachlan Hart, actually, you were there last week for the 5-2 victory that Melbourne Victory had against Oakleigh. What have you thought of Lachlan Hart so far?
Look a bit unlucky. It's very unfortunate. He's copped maybe 3-4 goals that most keepers don't cop in a year. He's copped them in 2 weeks, so you've got to feel for him. But as a keeper, look, you've just got to pick yourself up. You've got to get back on your feet and make sure that, you know, you're there. It looks like Sharon's night is done, and Luca Cabrera comes on, so we'll be looking to add his first goal this season. Only has 1 goal to his name. So.
Good for Luca Cabrera as well, 19 years of age, got promoted into the senior squad last year ahead of the 2024 season, re-signed with the club as well ahead of this season as well, so a young future ahead of him. Jerome Sharon coming off the pitch. Great start for him though, and Oakleigh will proceed as Duratovic. He's got this one. Just going to tip it all the way back off to McGilp, and that one will be out of play. Bit of a sloppy, unlike Oakleigh Cannons error there.
I must say, it wasn't a good touch there from Chris Taylor as well.
Not at all. We're not quite used to seeing that, especially.
As Bullich, bit of a helicopter pass. Good work there from Chelina. He sends it forward. Manet is like a greyhound. He's hunting that one down. He's not giving up. I don't think Mikael Platt's, he must be carrying an injury because he's not really moving as we usually see him.
It's not very Mikael Platt-like with the way
That's
that
right,
he normally
yeah.
plays, the way that we're often seeing him. So I think you definitely might be right there, Alex. You definitely might be carrying something.
I mean, the only other player they can bring up forward, other than Michael Gregic, I don't think he's been a known forward player, but you've also got Max Barato and Alexander Sipivorowski. Play on is the call here. Eventually, it's a late whistle there by the referee.
Another one coming for Oakleigh Cannons. Last time these two teams played, Oakleigh had 8 fouls compared to St. Albans, they had 14. They've had a couple tonight.
Interesting to see how close that comparison will be tonight as well.
That's what I'm interested in seeing. Jacob Tratt will take this one. We'll go forwards, ball managing to being headed by Kalina. Brody Boyce, back again to Tratt.
Oh, Chavs, you can be higher
Jordan
there,
Hall,
yeah?
connecting well, they do. This is Jacob Tratt and Hall. Ball in open space. McFarlane managing to be in the right spot that time. Strong, flying up high. Went to Kasumovic. Kasumovic couldn't quite deliver the pass well enough. I think he might have intended it to go to Joe Guest, but couldn't. Here's Mikel Platt once again. Could this be an opportunity for Angus when he falls
That's
down?
surely going to be a card.
And surely that might be something coming here. And a yellow card being given to Jordan Hall.
I think it was Campbell Strong that was the yellow. He's the one that clipped him.
Not sure who it was, but it was an Oakleigh Cannons player. It was a player in white who ended up getting the card.
And Campbell Strong, number 15. So he goes into the books now as we head into the final 8 minutes here at Churchill Reserve. Will we see another goal? Dinamo desperately trying to get something here.
I think might add as well, considering how tough of a loss it was for Oakleigh last week, I think they've definitely come into this game definitely a lot more settled. They haven't let the loss affect them too much. So I think they've done a really good job in terms of responding, but obviously a win is something that Oakleigh prides himself on, and I'm sure they would love another goal.
Absolutely, and I think both sides desperately wanting that third goal here. Will we see it is another question. And that's a poor turnover there. And that's been probably the story of the evening. Both sides with poor turnovers. That's something maybe both coaches need to maybe just bring to the players' attention. I mean, next week it doesn't get any easier for either of these sides. I mean, St Albans, they face Port Melbourne. Oakleigh face Preston.
Get back in.
The interesting fact is, though, in the remaining 7 games, Dinamo play 5 games at home. All very winnable games as well. So if they can somehow see out the game here, they can probably put themselves in a very good position. That's a free kick, and that's going to be another card there.
Another one.
Joe Guest goes into the books.
I think one thing just to add back about those 5 games being played actually here is that St Albans Dinamo only just managed to avoid relegation last season, so all winnable games definitely will be good to try and keep them in the hunt of surviving the relegation, as the pass goes straight into the legs of the bench. Could just be an opportunity for Oakleigh and isn't. And another opportunity there, wasted. A couple sloppy passes once again, the story of the evening so far. But back to Dinamo again, they somehow managed to avoid relegation. A couple winnable games. I think they'd love to avoid relegation once again.
Absolutely, and that's something that Cam Watson and his coaching staff are definitely trying to keep this team alive in the top tier of Victorian football. As the cross comes in, a rock clears. Platt just not really moving freely. Gets a retrieve now. Manake waiting for it. And Tratt's going to go into the books. That's a yellow card for Tratt. Professional foul there.
A couple of yellow cards just being given loosely there to the Oakleigh Cannons players. Second one actually that was on Mikel Platt. I'm not sure what the go is there, but he's definitely not being appreciated too much by this Oakleigh Cannons squad at the moment.
Well, a very good position now for Oliver Dragicevic. Can he find someone on the end of it as the countdown begins to the 90 minutes? Ball comes into the box, looking for the back. The Cannons clear. Good work that time by Strong. It'll be a throw. Feel like it's going to be a frenetic 5 minutes here at Churchill Reserve. Well, it's a turnover. Guest going forward are the Cannons now. And it's just a stop-start football and a yellow card.
It's good to see that the crowd has formed there right in front of the pavilion on that far side, directly where that incident took place. But
Get over! Get over!
sure, all the fans will be cheering on Dinamo to try and squeak away with the 3 points again. They haven't had a win since back in round 7 on the 23rd of March. A 3-0 victory against the Port Melbourne Sharks, which they will face next week. As the cross comes in here for Oakleigh, could this be a chance? Isn't it? It was a very, very close one, though, for Asad Kasumovic in the back, the former Red from Adelaide United. But I'm sure they might get a possible taste of victory next week when they play Port Melbourne. Again, they got a victory against them 3-0, so we'll see how they go.
But it's a different Port Melbourne side this time around.
Especially,
they haven't been setting the league on fire, been very close a couple of times.
especially with their goalkeeper Romish doing an unbelievable job in goal.
There's a Dinamo now. Dragicevic swings it out wide. Platt using his size. Still going forward, Platt. Just can't get the ball under control. Good work by Manet. Dinamo now did have one last chance left in them. There's a turnover here. Oakleigh now streaming forward, trying to get numbers. Kasumovic waiting on the edge of the box. Now he's screaming for it. It's Kasumovic! Two straight. Bulic with the save. A quick release now. Chance here for Cabrera. Dragicevic gets around one, gets around two, still going forward. He plays it into Platt now. Needs to get someone in the middle of the park. Mikel Platt. Oakleigh trying to get numbers behind the ball. You can hear the scream. Someone help him out. Mills there to help out. Little dink over the top. He's onside. Platt still going. And he gets a corner.
Such a smart play there it was by Austin Mills, finding Platt. But just waiting a little bit of time, and I think you are right, definitely. This isn't a Mikel Platt that we're very used to seeing. Definitely took his time on that play, but just taking your time a little bit too much, Oakleigh's going to make you pay.
Looks like another substitution here from Dinamo. Will they hold off until...
As we wait for the substitution to actually be checked into the game.
So the captain, the former captain, Michael Grigic, and James Zidius will give way eventually once we get it in players. Michael Grigic gets himself ready. Corner, it's low, it's a bit of a scrubbing ball. Chance, oh, it bounces off Mills. Oh, it was like a pinball, but it was offside.
Such a close one there. Lachlan Hart doing an unbelievable job not letting that one going into the back of the netting there. As a tough ball there it was for Matthew Dench to try and keep it alive, but what a play that one was.
You've got to go now. We're heading into the final minute here at Churchill Reserve. Fourth official waiting patiently to put up the number of minutes. Mills into Dragicevic. Oh, just stepped on the ball, and McGilp knew that was his chance there. And now they can put the sub into place as Zidius comes off and Michael Grigic will come on. Final minutes now here at Churchill Reserve. We will see another 2-2 draw, the fourth week in a row for Dinamo.
5 minutes of out of time as well added into this game. So
5
if this
minutes,
game
we
couldn't
heard
get any
it.
juicier, it just has. Dinamo going to go long. Steady ball in the back, managing to keep it alive. You can hear the fans, both players and fans, shouting at one another. The urgency is at its highest right now here at Churchill Reserve. Dench clearing it out to Kasumovic. The former Adelaide United plays and across it in, just overcooks that pass. Can't quite manage to cross it in. It's a little bit off balance when you cross that one in, but nevertheless.
Looks like another sub here. Noah Holmes coming on for the Cannons. And trying to see who is number 22. So Matthew Dench will come off. Noah Holmes will come on.
See what Noah Holmes can do. Former Western United Academy player.
So we played a minute of stoppage time. 4 to go here at Churchill Reserve. There's some nervous fans watching this one. Will we see another goal here? Bulic Doesn't get the distance he wanted. McFarlane, a rock. Foul given away there. You can hear the Dinamo Hill just trying to urge their team across the line. They want another goal here. Oh, and Cabrera that time misjudges the bounce.
Oakleigh going to roll quickly here. They're not going to waste any time. And look at that for defense right there. McFarlane holding right on to Duratovic. Nothing was called by the referee, but Oakleigh are going to elect to go quickly here, and already Noah Holmes getting involved. Ball's going to go forwards. What can Oakleigh make do with this one? There is a lot of opportunities here, a lot of spaced out passages of play that they can go with. Joe Guest going to give it a boot from well beyond range, and Marco Bullish doing a great job of getting his hands directly under the football. And what a save that one was.
Well, Oakleigh probably kicking himself. Kasumovic was waiting for it. He was on his own. Eventually took too long to get it to him and allowed Kasumovic to come back as Mills now looks to go up the line. Platt, he's got to get on his horse here, and that runs out. With 2.5 minutes left to go here at Churchill Reserve. The Cannons look to go forward at every chance they get. The boos from the hill. Long throw. Well done by Shalina. Dragicevic to Platt. Holds it up. Needs a bit of assistance now. Good challenge that time from Boyce.
Boyce actually pushed the ball out of the way there, so a little bit of a payback after the hill. Possibly the hill might be tuned just a little bit too hard here. And Brody Boyce didn't want any bit of that. Austin Mills to throw it in.
2 minutes to go.
This is anyone's ball game right now, Alex. This could go anybody's way. Who's going to be in the right spot at the right time? Gurgic. Cross it in, inside. The ball's inside. Mikel He's there! He has another best game tonight! And he's at the right spot at the right time! The former Hume City player putting the possible dagger in the heart for Oakleigh.
Well, he might not be moving as he was, but he found the right place at the right time. And it was the ball from Michael Gurgic that put it in the hot spot. And Mikel Platt puts it away. That's his 6th goal of the season, and what an important goal that is. They are 90 seconds away from their first win since round 7. The Dinamo chant goes around Churchill Reserve. Can they hold on is the question.
Listen to this place go. They're going ruckus right now. What a goal that was from Mikel Platt. Whatever worries and injuries, concerns we had, he still knows how to put a football in the back of the netting. And the former Englishman, now in Australia, doing such an unbelievable job at possibly putting the dagger in Oakleigh's heart. Oakleigh are going to try and look to respond quickly. The time is not on their side. McGill is being pressured heavily by Cabrera.
They've just got to go forward. They've just got to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it now.
Listen to the boos coming over my left-hand shoulder. Kasumovic going to turn around, try to chip it inside. Didn't quite manage to time it enough.
Renee, it's just got to go.
And here they come, Dinamo. Could they possibly be breaking their drought of no wins since round 7? Could it be? And it was called offside.
Well, probably a lucky break there for Oakleigh. Platt was on his way.
The coaching staff and the hill is going ballistic right now, Alex.
30 seconds left to go here. Can Dinamo hold on? Is there one last chance for the Cannons? The cross comes in from Boyce. He sends it into the car park. And Bullich is in no rush to get that whatsoever. The Dinamo chant is getting it sung out loud and proud here.
And deservedly so, I think, for a team that has struggled all season long. Again, the last win they had was round 7. This will be a big, big win for Dynamo, I should say. Sorry, the crowd is taking the words out of my mouth right now. This is an electric atmosphere for a team that hasn't had a win in oh so long.
Oh, that club song's going to sound so good. Everyone rushing over to the team rooms, waiting patiently for the full-time whistle to sound. Is there one last roll of the dice here for the Cannons? They've just got to go forward. They go wide. Kasumovic. Boyce overlapping. He crosses it into the box. They clear. There it is. The full-time whistle sounds. And it's the Dynamo who are able to sing the song after the game. They take it out 3-2. It was a massive, massive victory. And Oakleigh Cannons, well, they are looking at back-to-back losses. But what a win that was for Dynamo, Stefan.
That was a big-time win for Dynamo. The cheers, listen to them go. That is a huge win for a team that has struggled all season. They're kind of in a relegation fight with the way that their season's going, in 12th position. Not desirable, but this is going to be a huge win that they have. And going into next week against a team that they beat earlier, that their last win came against. Now this, their most recent win, they're going to have a whole heap of momentum going.
Well, they've done the clean sweep against Oakleigh Cannon, something that hasn't been done in a long time. What a win that was. Well, in typical Dynamo fashion, it was grit, it was effort, it was just Dynamo to the T. Congratulations to Dynamo and their players. Commiserations, Oakleigh Cannons. On behalf of the team here, Stefan Djordjevic and myself, Alex Sifkorowski, I want to thank you all for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed it. We have. We'll see you around the grounds. Plenty of football still to come this weekend.